Hey friends, good morning. JB here, and we are stepping forward with the wisdom that God has given us. So much of it is in the Bible, so much of it is right in front of us. Some of it is in nature, even, and we can learn a lot through nature. And we can learn a lot by simply praying and meditating on His Word. Just the bits and pieces that we can that we have time to absorb and understand. And we're in Proverbs 3. Proverbs 3 is what we're in. And again, what we find is that we're talking about the guidance for the young. So the young could be any one of us who is not grown in that particular area, but another stanza or two about my son, do not forget my law, but let your heart keep my commands. And he talks about how, this is a big one, Proverbs 3. There's so much packed in here, this particular one. They're all really powerful, but this particular one, there's so much packed in here that we're going to talk about a few nuggets, and then afterwards we'll go ahead and read it out. But it talks about trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not on your own understandings. There's points in our lives where we have to walk forward with faith, and we don't quite understand why it is the Lord brought us where we are. And we may have made mistakes along the way. We may even have drifted off course. But if we're centered on the Lord, He's going to bring us on course. And, within all of that, we still may not quite understand why the Lord is putting us in a particular part of His plan. That may be uncomfortable at times. Maybe it seems nonsensical. Maybe for a number of reasons, He is making a big shift in each of our lives, and we don't know, we don't understand. And that's what this is. This is for those people. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart, and lean not on your own understandings. I don't get why, maybe for myself, for several years, it's been in a position that didn't seem aligned with things that I trained for. I don't understand all that, but when one reflects on what can come from these things, learning to work with people, learning to deal with situations that are outside of my zone of concern, sometimes even my strength zone, it makes it very challenging, but we get a lot from that. And we've got some friends coming around here, so we're going to see what they've got for us. We've got some of our campers here. We're at a certain camp, Christian camp, and so that's why we have a different backdrop than we normally do. And they're going to get pinged. We're going to ask them. We've got some friends over here, hey? So let me ask you this. What do you think about the Proverbs, like wisdom and all that? Do you feel like you pretty much got a good grasp on all that?
From what?
Wisdom from the Bible. Have you ever heard that, this phrase, trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not on your own understandings? Have you had an experience like that where it's something that you can kind of say, hey, look, I remember last week or last month you've had to trust in the Lord and not lean on your own understandings? Anything come to mind?
Have you ever
So,
like
trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not on your own understandings. So like you're thinking, hey, look, Lord, you're bringing. It seems like I should go this way, but you're bringing me this way. I'm gonna trust you, kind of thing.
Well, when I decided to come here, it was a really last minute thing, and I've never done camp at all before. And just like, hey, we should try.
And
I didn't feel like it at all. I didn't want to.
Early
I
mornings
had other
keep,
things I
yeah,
wanted to do.
yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, there you go, right there. You just trusted, God. Did you pray about it at all, or did you kind of just,
I prayed about it, and I also was just like, I'm not going to try to figure this out or understand. I'm just going to do it
yeah,
because I feel like it's what the Lord's telling me.
yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for sharing. Appreciate that. I'm just doing a little recording here, so I mean, you're anonymous in the background, but it's a harp, right? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, harp. I'm trying to get everyone's names here. We've got anonymous names, but I'm JB too, so that's actually an anonymous name. So hopefully the flies aren't gonna bite me too bad. But anyways, well, thanks for sharing, ladies.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate you. All right. So there's an example right there. We've got people listening to the Lord and maybe not totally understanding it. Me either. Yeah, just simply as people are coming down the path, I've kind of got a certain. When you're doing production, you're trying to control the variables, environment around you. For example, the backdrop right now, it's a little bit dicey. I could have a fly come and land right on my head and start to chomp on my skin, and that's going to mess up this particular video. But as people are coming down this particular trail, I had to sense myself feeling a little bit uncomfortable, like I don't quite know if I should just do a cut, okay, and come back and redo all this, or maybe I can just roll with it. Maybe these camp directors, these young ladies will have something. And sure enough, one of them did, and 3 didn't. Okay, and that's a lot of, oftentimes, what wisdom's about. It's like 1 understands and 3 don't understand. And yeah, and that's what in life, people don't get some of the Proverbs, some of the wisdom in the Proverbs, and it's really important to pour into them. And I'm just going to touch on a couple before I read off what the rest of the whole proverb is. But another one is, happy is a man who finds wisdom and the man who gains understanding. Again, this reoccurring theme of gaining understanding and gaining wisdom and gaining insight. It's back and forth in each of these things, each of these proverbs. It's this reoccurring thing, gain it, gain it. And I start to think, geez, this is kind of like repetitive in some ways, but what is the reason for it? And it kind of came to me that essentially you're not going to just know it all right? Each situation is going to be a little bit different. And I think the point of repeating all of this, and what it's coming to me, what the Spirit's telling me, is that you are going to have all these unique situations, and before you start to make judgment to say, well, I've gained understanding, I've got understanding, I've put it in my pocket, okay, and now I have it, so I don't need to do anything but start to make some judgment calls across the board. Well, while experience can kind of help really expedite decision making, that's true. The point I think that they're making is you want to do your due diligence and find out what is going on in this new situation, be it several people or a young group over here, or maybe elders over there. What can we learn, and how can we understand a little bit what's going on to maybe resolve the conflict, or to add to the discussion, or to help to make decisions. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to actually continually gain insight, continually learn. And that's not just because we're older and have experience. We want to, with wisdom, you're trying to perpetually understand at deeper levels these new situations, even situations that are fresh but don't seem new. So there can often be subtle differences. Well, we're coming towards the end of this particular segment, so I'm going to read this off in the next segment, and then we're going to come back tomorrow and share a little bit more in Proverbs 4. Take good care, my friends. All right. let's just read this off. It's so good. Hopefully, I don't stop in between because I've been known to do that. But my son, do not forget my laws, keep, but let your heart keep my commands. This is Proverbs 3 now. For length of days and long life and peace they will add to you. Let not mercy and truth forsake you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart, and so find favor and high esteem in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. It will be health to your flesh and strength to your bones. Honor the Lord with your possessions and the first fruits of all your increase, and with the first fruits of all your increase. So your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will overflow with new wine. My son, do not despise the chastening of the Lord, nor detest his correction. For whom the Lord loves, he corrects, just as a father the son in whom he delights. Happy is the man who finds wisdom, and the man who gains understanding, for her proceeds are better than the profits of silver, and her gain than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things you may desire cannot compare with her. Length of days is in her right hand, and her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who take hold of her, and happy are all who retain her. The Lord by wisdom founded the earth, by understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the depths were broken up, and clouds dropped down the dew. My son, let them not depart from your eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion, so they will be life to your soul and grace to your neck. Then you will walk safely in your way, and your foot will not stumble. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. Yes, you will lie down, and your sleep will be sweet. Do not be afraid of sudden terror, nor of trouble from the wicked when it comes. When it comes. For the Lord will be your confidence, and will keep your foot from being caught. Do not withhold good from those whom it is due, when it is in the power of your hand to do so. Do not say to your neighbor, go and come back, and tomorrow I will give it, when you have it with you. Do not devise evil against your neighbor, for he dwells by you for safety's sake. Do not strive with a man without cause, if he has done you no harm. Do not envy the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. For the perverse person is an abomination to the Lord, but his secret counsel is with the upright. The curse of the Lord is on the house of the wicked, but he blesses the home of the just. Surely he scorns the scornful, but gives grace to the humble. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the legacy of fools. Wow. A couple other things were sticking out there for me. And as you read through these, read them out loud. Read them slowly, read them fast. Read them upside down. Read them in a box with a fox. Read the Proverbs. The more you read them, in different ways, different things are going to pop out, things I never knew about my neighbor. My neighbor dwells near me because he wants to be secure. I'm just thinking like, hey, look, we're all neighbors, but in some ways God puts us in these spots for these very reasons even. My friend, thank you for listening, and we will hope that this blesses you in a way and something different. So I'm probably getting something out of it myself. Take good care, my friends.